Can you answer one question for me honestly? Does the SEC still mean more, or has the line between contender and spoiler gotten way too thin to keep pretending? For years, the teams at the top flex their depth, their dominance, their we run college football attitude. And honestly, they weren't wrong. But in 2025, the top dogs don't look as untouchable. And the teams at the bottom, they've got just enough bite to flip this whole thing on its head. Today, we're breaking down the SEC team by team, placing every squad into one of three tiers: contenders, mid tier, and spoilers. Let's start at the bottom of the table, but don't get it twisted. This is the SEC. Even the spoiler teams have bite. They're not built to win the conference, but they will absolutely ruin someone else's shot if they're not careful. Kentucky flipped the offense and still have that tough blue collar identity. The defense can create chaos, and Kentucky always seems to catch somebody sleeping. Don't expect a title run, but definitely expect drama. Jeff Levy came in hot. New coach, new pieces, new tempo. The O line's still shaky, and the defense doesn't scare anybody yet. They'll catch a few teams off guard, especially early, but they're not ready for the long haul. Arkansas is in total transition mode. New coaches, new departures, and a brutal roll heavy schedule. They'll hang in games if the quarterback shows up, but there's not enough here to do real damage over a season. Youth and experience and an offensive line that's still under construction. That's a bad mix in the SEC, but they're scrappy at home. And if you treat them like a tune up, they'll flip your whole season upside down. Ask Alabama. These teams won't make it to Atlanta, but they will shape who does. And that's what makes the SEC so dangerous. There are no easy Saturdays. Let's move to the middle of the pack teams that could go either way. This is where it gets murky. The middle class of the SEC. These are the teams with just enough talent to push for something big or flatline with a few bad bounces. The gap between 6 and 10 wins here is razor thin. They shocked folks last year with 10 wins, but replacing a veteran quarterback and leadership on both sides of the ball makes this year a little trickier. The schedule helps and the culture is strong, but this feels more like a reset than a reload. Garrett Nussmeier is ready and the offense will hum, but that defense has to show up. Too many missed tackles and blown assignments last year. If the new pieces gel, they could jump up. If not, it's another 8-4 type of season. Nico leaving was a real big deal. But the real question here is whether the Vols can survive their schedule. Georgia, Texas, Bama, man, that's rough. They've got firepower, but I don't know if they have the depth to last that. Every year we say it, this might be the year. Well, this roster looks the part: physical, experienced, and loaded in the trenches. Marcel Reed needs to be the guy, though. If he is, A&M's a threat. The offense will score, period. And the receiver room are explosive. But can they stop anybody? Lane Kiffin's teams always have a puncher's chance energy, but they've got to get stops to actually contend. Jackson Arnold at quarterback and two strong recruiting classes mean Auburn is building something. Not quite ready yet, but this could be a team that nobody wants to face in November. 2026 might be the real breakthrough, but 2025 is a warm up. The O line is real. DJ Lagway is exciting, but the margin for error is slim. The receivers are young, and the quarterback spot isn't settled. If it clicks, they're climbing. If it doesn't, welcome to another 6-6 season in Gainesville. It's year two in the SEC. New quarterback, brought in his OC as well. They've got speed and depth, but they're going to need time to adjust on a weekly grind. You got to get that quarterback up to speed because coming from the Pac 12 to the SEC is no small leap. Lenore Sellers gives them a chance. The coaching is solid, and they'll always be tough at home. But that closing stretch, It's brutal, man. They'll be in games, but they're going to need luck to be anything more than a spoiler with a decent record. This tier is where chaos lives. One injury, one breakout, one lucky bounce, and somebody's crashing the contender conversation. Speaking of contenders, let's break down the top dogs in the SEC. Now we're talking about the big three. These are the programs with the talent, the depth, and the expectations to not just win the SEC, but to win it all. You know their names, but here's why they're actually built to get it done in 2025. Arch Manning, say what you want about the name, but the kid can play. He's leading the most stacked offense in the SEC. Speed, size, experience, all of it. In the defense, top tier athletes at every level. After a deep playoff run and sitting at number one in the FPI, Texas enters 2025 as the favorite to win the conference. They've got the roster, they've got the hype, and they've got the pressure. Anything less than a championship is a letdown. You don't replace NFL talent, you reload it. And Kirby's got that part down. Gunnar Stockton steps in at quarterback, and he's surrounded by playmakers. Yeah, they've got question marks, but this is Georgia. Physical, deep, and always in the mix. They'll take some hits, but they'll be in every game. Don't be shocked if we're talking about another 11-win season and another SEC championship appearance. Listen, there can't be any Vanderbilt slip up this year. New quarterback, same expectations. Ty Simpson takes over under Kalen DeBoer, and this offense looks more tailored for his skill set. The defense has some new faces, but the pipeline is still ridiculous. This team is quietly loaded, top 10 in most polls, and the only team outside of Texas and Georgia with real title odds. The early schedule is rough, but Bama usually gets better as the season goes on. If Simpson delivers, the tide ain't going anywhere. All right, that's your full SEC tier list: contenders, mid tier, and spoilers. But I already know what's coming. Some of y'all are heated because we got LSU in the mid tier. So let's talk about it. Do they really have a national title roster? Or are folks just buying the name and ignoring the defensive holes? Drop your takes in the comments. I want to see who's riding with the Tigers and who's keeping it real. And hey, if you really want to see where the best football is being played, go check out my Big Ten breakdown because, spoiler alert, it might be the best conference in college football this year. Click right here to watch it.